as we already told us, like I was bringing all these alts and these offenses that people have against us and all of these things, their lies and accusations about being demented. Well, Elohim has literally told us or led us to certain places, and he was like, this is under demonic possession. We're adding this on this last little bit to what we already posted, and we're addressing all of these things because it's stuff to pray for, and it's stuff to be on guard against and to renounce and not to be in agreement with. And people are worried about being offended. Well, we also, is it not offensive for all of that gossip, people to gossip about Yahuah or any of these other people, or even Roman was brought up and they don't know what to do and you're gonna have a girl and we don't know what that meant, and everyone was instructed to seek Elohim and go before Elohim, as we also have to do. But also we had to create this conversation because it was presented to us that Abe and our cousin was like, don't be saying my mom's name, and it was just like, or talking about my mom, and we're just like, we're sharing whatever we're given to share as explanation, because obviously alts against us, things that are contrary to Elohim, uncleanness, the wickedness, the gossip, the witchcraft and sorcery. But that spirit and principality of gossip, Elohim removing that, and having removed that, but also us having to be on guard against it, and not only renounce that and denounce that and just like be separated from that, but also explain. This is why he separated us from the city, separated us from these towns and places and organizations, because that was, even in the past, even 6 years ago, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1 year ago, things that transpired on account of a bunch of gossip. But it was also a reminder, like we had to create this explanation to this woman whose name was Sarah about why she was not the inheritor or legacy of even our cousin's legacy. Like, you're not from her loins, you're not from her bloodline, you're not of her offspring, you're not her inheritance. So, or her legacy holder. And this is why in biblical ways, the men, the patriarchs, they passed on, and the matriarchs, they passed on history to the family, or they passed on when they wanted to, passed on the legacy that was a part of their ethnicity and their lineage and their heritage. And it's like what we inherit from Elohim. This is why Esau was considered sexually immoral and sold his birthright for a bowl of soup. So it's like our birthright, our inheritance, and all of these things are very valuable to Elohim. And there is things within that heritage and lineage and all of that kind of stuff. So just adding that little bit, further things to pray and seek Elohim about, further things to acknowledge to Elohim, further things to bring before Elohim, further things to pray to Elohim about, further things to be mindful of, further things to understand the difference, or ask or seek or pray about the difference. Remember, we are praying and Elohim is answering prayers always, and sometimes it's instantly. And so he gives a word to back things up, and he gives revelation, he's giving dreams, he's giving visions, he's giving explanation. But this is also where we're not giving someone a whole interpretation and like all the time of like, we're not doing the spiritual work that other people are supposed to do. Like, every person is still supposed to go to Elohim. We're also supposed to go to Elohim. So we don't go ahead and then just be like, okay, I'm going to do and tell you every little thing that Elohim has given me, because you're supposed to also go seek him. Even when there's a message that you should relay to a person, it might just be an overview of something because Elohim wants them to go to that, or we support them going and getting it straight from him and understanding the fullness of what Elohim has for them. So seek the Father, pray to him, ask him, get it from him, glean from him. And Father, just thank you for working and removing alts and offenses and everything that's contrary to you. Yahushua Mashiach. Amen. Thank you for removing us from places of gossip and all.